Dynasty fantasy football owners, week 5 of the NFL is in the books, and some players have done pretty well so far. But should you buy into the hype or should you beware of it? We're here to tell you with our segment, Buy or Beware. And as always, if you have any players that you're not sure if you should buy or beware of, comment them below so we can answer you. All right, buy or beware. We have our first player, quarterback Geno Smith. Steve, are you buying or are you bewaring?
Well, there's every part of me that wants to beware Geno Smith, but I feel like I need to buy him. He's leading the league in completion percentage. Honestly, like what he's doing right now, it blows my mind. I would never have expected Geno Smith to do this. But here's the thing. He's playing the Arizona Cardinals coming up this week, and their pass defense is horrible. He gets to play them twice. He plays the Las Vegas Raiders. They're not very good. I think he plays the Chiefs. He has so many juicy matchups down the stretch. I think, and I don't know if he's going to be, this good, but I think he's going to be a reliable starter moving forward. I think if I was in the position, it'd be really hard to play him. But in the example, if I had Russell Wilson and Geno Smith, and that was going to be the one aspect that could make me lose my matchup, I honestly think I might play Geno Smith at times. So I'm going to buy him, obviously, just for this season from a dynasty perspective. I don't see this happening, but who knows, Joe? Maybe I'm wrong here.
Yeah, Steve, it's not pretty. I'm with you. It's definitely tough. I'd say I would buy Geno Smith either, but I don't necessarily like it. But it's hard to deny what he's done this year. Nobody really expected it. I don't even think the Seahawks knew what they had. I think they honestly were going to start Drew Lock. And then all of a sudden they play Geno and he's been playing this good. Like you said, he's got the Cardinals coming up. A lot of juicy matchups down the road. I really like him. And then, him versus Russell right now for fantasy, it's hard not to go Geno Smith at the moment.
Next player, running back Rhamondre Stevenson. Buy or beware?
Yeah, so he had a huge amount of buzz, during the offseason. People really thought that he was going to come on the scene. I had my suspicions just because we know with New England, they have their antics when it comes to running backs. But with this situation, Damien Harris is out of the picture, at least for a few weeks with the hamstring injury. I'm buying Rhamondre Stevenson, at least for this period of time until Damien Harris comes back. Volume is not necessarily given in the NFL when it comes to running backs. And I think he's going to get a lot of it unless, Pierre Strong comes out of nowhere. And, of course, then we're going to be like, why are you doing this to us, the Patriots? And that could happen. But I'm buying him. I think he's going to be really good these next few weeks.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. I would also buy Stevenson. Like you said, with Harris out, I think he really takes advantage. Now, his big game did come against the Lions. I don't know if we can expect that, but like you said, he did have 18 carries. Volume is key for fantasy, and with his volume, I think he's a pretty safe play in the next coming weeks without Harris.
All right, next player, wide receiver Jakobi Meyers.
Yeah, so I had my doubts about this offense in general, and Myers obviously had those touchdown issues, but I'm buying Jakobi Meyers. I think that his target share for that team is huge. And who knew with Bailey Zappi, what would that offense look like? But he did great. Now again, it was against the Lions, like you were mentioning too, Joe. But I think he's a consistent floor play. For the most part going forward. In some matchups I wouldn't play him, but I think you should feel comfortable. And as far as the offense looks like, it seems like he's not going anywhere. I'd be shocked if the Patriots don't pay him. So I think I'm buying him moving forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy him as well moving forward, especially in a PPR league. His one downfall, like you mentioned, has been not getting in the end zone. Of course, he did against the Lions here, but that's why, especially in a PPR, this guy is getting plenty of targets in the offense. So I really like him moving forward as well.
All right, next player, tight end Tyler Higbee.
Man, I'm feeling like I'm Kramer on Mad Money. Buy. Because I'm going to buy Tyler Higbee because I can't believe what he's doing either. When he had those huge target numbers in the beginning of the year, I was like, okay, this is going to fall off. And I think we might have even talked about it specific to Allen Robinson, but that offensive line is having so many challenges that Stafford is now looking to Higbee as really his number 2 option. And I don't see that stopping. I mean, really, the only guys you want in that offense right now are Tyler Higbee and Cooper Kupp, obviously. So, I'm buying it. I think he's becoming a reliable target for Stafford. I think there's some real consistency there.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. Unfortunately, you haven't had a beware yet, but I'm going to buy him as well. Like you said, there's only 2 relevant players on the Rams right now, and that's Higbee and Kupp. The offensive line's really struggling in the run game, and Stafford honestly just doesn't look anywhere else.
All right, I'm going to butcher this next name, but this is our defensive player. It is linebacker Foye Oluokun.
I think it's Oluokun, but he did pretty good, Pete.
Oh, that's
cool. Yeah. So Foye, had a breakout season. I believe he led the league in tackles last season. Signed a huge money contract to go to the Jaguars, who the Jaguars have been known to give out the bag to free agents, especially defensive free agents, and then they end up flopping. So I didn't know what to expect, but he's playing at a really high level. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth about this. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to say beware, only because I think Devin Lloyd, who they just drafted and traded up in the first round, he has also been playing fantastic. So I think Lloyd is the guy you really want to have going forward. I think the Jaguars can get out of that contract, coming up. So I think I'm gonna say beware. I wouldn't blame you if you were buying him though.
Yeah, Steve. I mean, I think it's hard not to buy him. I mean, he's been great even with Lloyd there. I know that they're probably gonna put more, stock into their actual high draft capital. But he's been really good. He's a guy that I actually could have bought at a pretty high price before the season. But I was so nervous because they drafted Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma as well, what it was going to look like. He had that historic season last year with the Falcons, and he's coming over to the Jags. How is that going to work? And I don't know. I think I'm not as concerned. I'm comfortable buying him.
Well, and you mentioned Chad Muma. I think that's the thing. Like if when injuries happen, it does create a vacuum and provides opportunities. So, if that were to happen, or somehow Muma is able to get opportunities, could he supplant Foye and he's expendable at that point? So that's my only thing moving forward from a dynasty perspective. But you're not wrong. I mean, this year he's like a top 5 linebacker. So how could you not buy him, like you said?
All right, you guys both brought a pick of your own. Are you gonna buy or beware? And what player are you talking about?
I'm just in a buy mood.
You are.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's getting closer to the holiday season. I'm getting an itch, but November's coming up.
Holiday
Black Friday.
shopping.
Yeah. So I am going to buy my man George Pickens. I've been pounding the table for George Pickens. I told Joe that he could become the best receiver in this class. And since he has been integrated in the offense and Kenny Pickett as a quarterback, he has been starting to get targeted more and more. You've got the dropsies going on with Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. They can't be relied upon. I fully expect, this is a prediction, that George Pickens will outpace those two. And by the end of the year, he will be the number 1 receiver. I think he'll be the number 1 receiver in Pittsburgh heading into next season. I think he's the guy to have. I think there's some big things coming his way.
I don't know how hot of a take that is, Steve, but okay. I'm actually bringing a beware player finally with all the buys that we've had today. And my player is wide receiver Michael Pittman. Now, this is a guy that I was concerned with heading into last week, and then last week is kind of confirmed by these concerns, and that's because of the emergence of Alec Pierce. Started to actually out-target him in that game. Matt Ryan seems to go to him. He's kind of their down-the-field threat, which Michael Pittman has never really been. So my growing concern, and I'm beware of Michael Pittman at this point until we kind of see his target share kind of return and Matt Ryan may be looking somewhat decent.
All right. And if you have any players that you would like to know if we would buy or beware about, comment them below so we can answer you. And definitely like and subscribe and hop on board.